Oh, it's about to go down. What is up, you guys? My name is Jessie and welcome back to my channel. Today, you read the title. Let's not drag this on. We're tier ranking all of the thrillers I read in 2020. Now, just as a disclaimer, I'm not going to be revealing the ones I've read in December just because I will be doing a wrap up at the end of the year. So we're doing everything from January to November, but still, I thought this would be a super fun video. Also, if you're interested in the top 10 or the 10 most disappointing books, I already did a video, so I will link those videos down in the description below. But this is all the books I have ranked, and according to this website, I actually have 54 to go through. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So let me go ahead and break it down into the categories that I have set up. So I have 5 categories. I have it set as amazing / favorites, liked / please read, just okay, disappointed / forgotten, and then burn. So let's get into these books. I already see I have a duplicate in here, so I do apologize for that. But let's go ahead. The first one is Good Girl by Mary Kubica. I really enjoyed this one because it has to deal with like Stockholm Syndrome. So I thought that was a really interesting read. Is this amazing? Was it like completely different from everything else that I've read? No, but I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to put this one into the like / please read. Next, I have The Escape Room by Megan Golden. After I read this one, I kind of realized that it was just okay. It wasn't anything like spectacular. So I'm going to actually put this one, I'm going to put it in the just okay section. Ooh, so The Perfect Child. I loved that one. I'm kind of shocked I didn't put it in my top 10 favorites, but it's definitely a favorite of mine. So I'm definitely gonna put that in the top tier. That one is so good. I highly recommend you read it. Stranger on the Beach by Michelle Campbell. I think this is one of those authors that is just not for me. But I wouldn't put it in the burn section because I do know a lot of people love her writing. So I'm going to put this one in the forgotten section just because it's nothing original, and like all of her books are just like very underwhelming and disappointing to me. Ooh, Little Secrets. I remember being so hyped about this one at the beginning of the year. I'm definitely, I'm stuck between like amazing and liked. Like I really did enjoy it, but now that like I've read it, like I read this I think like back in like March, so it's been forever. I'm gonna put it in the liked please read. Hurry Home. This one I think I got as an art copy on NetGalley, and it was just like it was just okay, but honestly I couldn't tell you what it's about, so I think that outweighs the just okay. Ooh, Too Late by Colleen Hoover. I loved this one. It took me forever to read this one, like to get to the point where I wanted to actually start reading it, but I absolutely loved this book, so it's definitely going in my amazing / favorites. It's one of my favorite Colleen Hoover books, honestly. All right, next we have Jar of Hearts, also by Jennifer Hillard. I'm gonna put that one in the liked please read. I definitely liked Little Secrets better, but Jar of Hearts was still pretty good. Oh, if you've watched my channel at all this year, you should already know Behind Closed Doors is going into my top favorites. Loved that one. I think that was I'm pretty sure that was the first thriller I read this year. When She Returned, also by Lucinda Berry. I did not like this one, honestly, but it was just okay. I kind of read it more just for the cultish vibes, but it was just okay. It wasn't disappointing. It was just okay. Next we have Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I debated putting this one into this one because I really don't think this is a thriller. I think it's a little bit more on the sci-fi, but this one was really good. It's just, I know that I think I'm just too dumb for this one, but it was pretty good. I'm going to put this one in the like please read because I think it's just a me thing, but I know a lot of people would really enjoy this one. This one I accidentally made 2 duplicates, so we're just going to put them in the same section. But this is Some Days Are Dark by Miranda Smith. And I was pleasantly surprised by this one. I got this one as a NetGalley arc, and I have her other arc too as well. This one was pretty good. I really liked it. However, I don't think everyone else would. I'm gonna put this one in the just okay. And actually, I'm just gonna leave the second one just so it doesn't get a little too crowded. Next, we have Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. This one was such a ride to read. It is so good. However, it's not something I would ever reread, nor would I recommend it. So it is really good. So I am going to put in the amazing spot. However, if you are tempted to read it, definitely do your research because there are trigger warnings for basically everything. Ooh, Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pembroke. I'm gonna have to burn that one. I did not like that one. If you want to know why, in that video of most disappointing books, I did do a little bit of explaining with a little bit of like spoilers. So if you're interested to see why I don't like that one, definitely check it out. But I absolutely hated that book, honestly. Next, we have What Lies Between Us by John Mars. I do remember liking this one. However, I've kind of forgotten like what it's about. I know the general synopsis, but I'm trying to think of like what actually happened in the book. This was my first John Mars book. I'm just going to put in the just okay. I know I rated it 4 stars, but not something I would recommend. Ooh, The Half Sister by Sandy Jones. I'm debating between disappointed or burn. Just because this book was such a letdown, but is it a bad book? I'm going to put in the forgotten section just because it wasn't that bad of a book. It just wasn't something that I particularly liked, and I did hype myself up to read that one. But ooh, The Last Affair by Margot Hunt, I'm also putting in disappointing because I love For Better and Worse by Margot Hunt. It's one of my favorite books ever, and I was so excited. I got this one as a Christmas present last year, and I finally read it, and it was a big disappointment. Again, I have another Michelle Campbell book, The Wife Who Knew Too Much. This was a NetGalley arc, and unfortunately, I did not like this one. I'm just going to put it in the same section. I'm just going to put it right next to her other book just because it just was not for me. As Long as We Both Shall Live, I remember liking this one a lot, but again, it was pretty forgettable. So how do I rate that one? Like, I know I liked it a lot, but again, I pretty much forgot everything. So I think I'm going to put it in the forgotten section. I know it was really good. I rated it like 4 stars, but not something that sticks with you. Ooh, Dear Wife by Kimberly Bell. If you've seen that other video, you shouldn't be surprised at all, but I'm burning this one. These two I mentioned in both that video, but honestly, they're probably the worst books I've ever read. If they're your favorite, I'm not trying to diss it, but I did not like this book. Ooh, the next one is I'm Thinking of Ending Things. I loved this book. I tried to watch the Netflix show or movie, but I did not like it. I ended up falling asleep, but I do really love this book. The audiobook is super creepy. I'm going to put it amazing / favorites. It was one of my favorites and most talked about books or most recommended to my friends. So I would definitely check that one out. All right, next we have Bad Mommy or I Could Be a Better You by Taryn Fisher. I don't know if Taryn Fisher is the author for me. I've read 2 of her books and I have her 3rd one like in the works, but honestly, like I don't know what it is. I haven't tried her romance. Maybe I'm more of a romance Taryn Fisher fan. But Bad Mommy was just okay. I think my favorite thing is like there's 3 people in that story and they're all pretty messed up, and that was my favorite part. However, I didn't like the overall plot, and the beginning of the book was super weird. Next, we have Liv Constantine's The Wife Stalker. I love The Last Mrs. Parrish by them, but this one was such a disappointment. I remember reading this book and loving it, and then once the big plot reveal came, it was such a disappointment. Like I was just like, ew, really? Like you had such potential. Next we have The Wives by Taryn Fisher. This one again, I'm just putting in just okay. I don't know. It was 4 stars, but I don't think I've recommended it once. The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This one I put on that list of most disappointing. I think it's because it had a lot of hype surrounding it, but I honestly did not like it, and I think I'm gonna have to burn it. Next, we have The Last Flight by Julia Clark, or Julia Clark, one of the two. And honestly, I can't tell you what happens in this book. This one definitely gave me like Dear Wife vibes in a way, but with airplanes. So, I don't know. I didn't really like it, but it wasn't as bad as Dear Wife, trust me. The Three Mrs. Wrights, I'm going to put in the just okay. It was really good. It was very entertaining, but it wasn't anything new. I read this one as a NetGalley arc, and it was pretty good. Ooh, this one is definitely going to stir up some tea. The Turn of the Key. I don't want to say I was disappointed in this one because I knew it had a lot of hype. I knew going into it that I probably wouldn't like it. I think I'm going to have to burn it. Oh, and The Wife Between Us by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. I'm burning that one too. I didn't like that one as well. Oh man, I feel like we're going to have a lot of negative books here in the next few minutes. The Shadows by Alex North. I think I DNF'd this book actually. I don't know why I have it downloaded, but because I DNF'd it, I'm putting it in the burn section. Because if you liked Behind Her Eyes, the same like concept in The Shadows, like they had that one thing, and I know that's not something I like. Next, we have Behind Every Lie. I did really enjoy this one, but it was just okay. It didn't really have anything special, so I'm gonna put that one in the just okay. You Are Not Alone by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. I did have a little bit more high expectations for this one. However, I didn't like this one at all, so I'm going to burn it. No Exit by Taylor Adams. Yes, ma'am. This book is so good. It's definitely one of my favorites, putting it at the top. After All I've Done, this one was very forgettable in my opinion. I remember liking most of it. However, I have forgotten what this book is about. All right, guys, we're almost at the bottom of this list. The next we have is The Sundown Motel. This one, I felt like I'm going to rate it between like or just okay. I think I'm going to put this one in the like section though, just because I know a lot of people would like this one more than me. So that's why I'm going to put it in the recommend section, especially if you like more atmospheric settings. Next, we have The Chalkman, and honestly, I'm going to have to burn this one. Wait, did I read this one? I think I read this one last year. I don't know why it's on my list. We're not even going to put it on the ranking. I know for a fact I did not read that this year. Next, we have Home Before Dark. You should know I love this one. It's my favorite Riley Sager that I've read. Absolutely love this one. It's perfect in my eyes. Next, we have Darling Rose Gold. This one is not a favorite, but I really, really did enjoy this one. It has to deal with like that Munchausen syndrome by proxy, or if you're familiar with the Gypsy Rose case, like it has very similar themes. I really enjoyed this one, and I've recommended it quite a bit. Something in the Water. I did not like this one. I had to read this one for a book club challenge, and honestly, burning's pretty much accurate. Behind the Red Door. Nothing totally original, very predictable. So I'm going to put this one in the forgotten section. I Found You by Lisa Jewell. I know there's a huge like following around Lisa Jewell. I know like she's a very well loved author. However, I did not like this one. I found it to be very bland. I don't know. I didn't like this one, so I'm going to put in the just okay. Good Night Beautiful by Amy Malloy. This one had the potential to be one of my favorite books of all time, but the whole second half really disappointed me. But I don't think I would burn it. I know this one made my least favorite list, but I don't think I'm going to burn it just because the whole first half is so good. It's definitely going in my disappointing section. Next, we have Don't Look For Me by Wendy Walker. This one, honestly, it's between just okay and totally forgotten. I'm going to put in the forgotten section just because I've already forgotten everything that happens. I don't think Wendy Walker is an author for me as well, so I probably won't pick up any of her other books as well. Next, we have The Night Swim. Absolutely loved this one. I think that would make a really good movie as well. This one really shocked me, and I loved this book so much, especially if you listen to the audiobook. I think you'll be really happy with that. A Good Marriage by Kimberly McCreet. I don't think I liked this one at all. I wasn't really disappointed. I do remember everything that happened. So I'm stuck between Just Okay or Burn. I wouldn't burn it just because I know this type of thriller isn't for me. So I'm just going to put in the Just Okay section. The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. I did really enjoy this one. I feel like I really enjoy Peter Swanson books. However, like his endings are just not what I would imagine the story to go to. So I really did enjoy this one, and I would recommend it if you're looking for something in the thriller section. I feel like Peter Swanson is a really good, solid place. Oh, I did not mean to put Bunny on this list because I don't really technically consider it a thriller, but since it's on this list, I guess I'm gonna have to put it in my all-time favorites. Just kidding, it's going in the burn section. I know a lot of people love that book, but it's one of those books where you're just like, you love it or you hate it, and I have that unpopular opinion of not liking it. The Breakdown by B.A. Paris. Coming off the high of reading Behind Closed Doors by this author, I was so looking forward to this one, and honestly, it was probably the biggest disappointment ever. I know it made that list as well. All right, so we have just a few left over. I have The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. I would say this is also going in amazing / favorites. It's not my favorite Riley Sager. It did not make my list of favorites for the year. However, I really, really enjoyed this one. I feel like this is like a perfect read to transition from summer to fall. So I would recommend it, especially around that time. Next, we have Invisible Girl by Lisa Jewell. I really did enjoy this one a lot more than I Found You. I don't know if Lisa Jewell is an author for me that I might pick up in the future. I did really enjoy this one, and I feel like other people would like it as well. Next, we have He Started It by Samantha Downing. This one was one of my most hyped books of 2020, and I've tried everything in my power to get my hands on this one. It did make my list for most disappointing just because I was expecting this like mind-blowing book, and it wasn't that. However, I did really like it. I have recommended it quite a bit. I think it's just a me thing, and that's why I was disappointed. So I am going to put in the liked / please read. All right, two more. We have Best of Friends by Lucinda Berry. I really, really enjoyed this one, and this one was gifted to me by my friend Gwen. Thank you so much again. I really, really enjoyed this one. It was a bit slow and confusing. However, I have recommended it to a few people and they said they did really enjoy it. So I am going to put in the like, please read section just because I have recommended it and other people have liked it as well. Next, we have The Roanoke Girls. I loved this one. This was probably the most messed up book I've ever read in my life besides Pretty Girls. So it's going in amazing / favorites. I really enjoyed this one. The one thing I really liked about this book, and I feel like it might irk some people, but it really did it for me, was something super sick and twisted is happening. However, it doesn't tell you until like the very end, but the whole book, what's happening, but no one talks about it. And that's one of my favorite things I loved about this book. All right, guys, that is everything for this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed this one. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with me on anything that I've ranked. I'd love to hear your opinions, respectful opinions. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel so you guys don't miss out on another bookish video. I hope you guys are all doing well, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.